Hello everyone, and today we're back into another tier list. And today we are ranking all of the mine types in all of Loomian Legacy from best, great, good, okay, and the worst ones. So let's get started right away, and we're starting with Sochi. And Sochi is going to be placed in the good tier because it's a very good range attacker, hits very hard with its wand. It's also like a free item, so you don't have to waste any items on this thing. Because it has its own item that only it can use, which is awesome. So that means you could save your power cuffs, your health amulet, your pearls, your shells for another Loomian, which is awesome. The flaws are, though, is that it's not very bulky, especially on the melee side. Like, a Shadow Sprint can pretty much just take it out in one hit, pretty much. So, yeah. Salty's good and is a very good wall breaker, especially on the range side. It can do a lot of damage, but that's kind of it. And also 89 speed tier is also pretty nice. Now we're going to go for the Paramine, and the Paramine will be right here. Right on here is where Paramine goes. Paramine's not even that bad. The problem is with Paramine, though, is that it just gets completely outclassed by Ferroglyph, and also it's just, I don't know. It's Paramine. The only thing that it actually has is that it is a solid Bane of Haste setter, but there's also another pre-evolution that does it a little bit better, I think. Although, I think they are going to be ranked in the same spot. Now, speaking of Paramine, let's go on to Ferroglyph. Ferroglyph is good. I don't think it's quite in the great tier because there are a lot of great tier mine types, and we're gonna get to them. But Ferroglyph, I don't know. It just seems to be the most generic out of the mine types. I don't know what it is. When I see Ferroglyph, I just see it as I don't know, a mine type Dusket. That's what I think about it. I see it as a Dusket, but as a mine type. But with less speed and with better bulk? I don't know. I can't really put it across with Ferroglyph. I think Ferroglyph and Dusket are around the same tier. I think Ferroglyph has slightly better coverage, and that's kind of it. It's fine. It does the job, and with it being Idio and Talent Trade could be good, but you waste a move slot. You want your coverage moves. You really want the extra coverage moves on Ferroglyph in order to really utilize it correctly. So yeah, I'm only putting it in the good. I don't think it's quite in the great. Halloween Kabunga, I think it's better than Paramine, despite it being weak to a lot more stuff. It does have some stuff for it. It has Rejuvenate, it can play Bane of Haste, and also it does have some other moves that do make it work. I think it definitely has better coverage than Paramine, so I think Halloween Kabunga is better than Paramine, so yeah. Although it's still only in the okay. Wakalakka, oh dear. Now this is where it gets interesting. I want to really put a tier in between here. And you know what? I will actually put a... Yeah, that's the thing. It's in between these two. But I don't think it's quite the Sochi and Ferroglyph. It's going in the okay. Yep, it's going in the okay. It's just weak to so much. It's same with the Metatoads. It just has a lot of weaknesses, but it's even worse with Wakalakka standards. Quad weak to bug and quad weak to dark just completely hurts you in so many ways. It's so tough to use because of it. And even though it has some stuff for it, just like with the Halloween Kabunga, it's just not as useful. And it just doesn't work out. I just don't know how you can use this thing correctly without baffling it in. And even if you do baffle it in, you want to use Bane of Haste, and then if you click Bane of Haste, that thing outspeeds you because of baffle. So I just don't know how you really can properly use Wakalaka correctly. That's probably the toughest thing. It's so hard to bring it in. Once it is in, it's actually alright, but even then, why not just use another why not just use a Ferroglyph or a Sochi or a Metronet or a Cosmore? It's just there's kind of no point in really using Wakalaka. It's fine. It can heal. It can do the job. It has great coverage, but that's pretty much it. Babyon, it's in the same tier as these guys. It can be very good though with specialization now thinking about it, but But Metatoad is the better of the specialization Loomians. And it's definitely the best mine type so far, but it's only in the good tier. It's only in the good. I think it is the best of the mine types so far, though. So that is something that it does have. Duskit. Duskit is a love-hate relationship for me. Because I think this is what my opinion is. The range Duskit is meh. I don't think the range Duskit is as good. Honestly, I would put the range Duskit as a slightly worse Ferroglyph. That's what I think. I think it's a slightly worse Ferroglyph. So it'd probably be in the okay. But it did get Outburst, and it got Cerebral Slash. And even though it does not have a setup move for melee, it doesn't need it. Duskit is pretty solidly. Although, again, Skellic has pretty much the same moves and can utilize it better. So, it's an interesting matchup with Duskit. Although Duskit does have the Spirit typing on his side. Although it doesn't have a setup move. It's weird. I don't know where to properly put Duskit, but it's better than these four. So I'm putting it in the good. It probably might be the weakest of the good, but it is in the good nonetheless. Oh my. We don't even have to talk about Mutagon. It's in the great tier and quite possibly the best mine type in the game. I think these last four are just self-explanatory. Although let's put them all up there. Yeah, these are all self-explanatory, but we will talk about each of them. So, Mutagon, Brawn Boost, Quick Punch, you win. Metronet, Hypnotize, you Peace of Mind 3 times, you win. You get 2 Peace of Minds with this thing that causes you a meatball form. It takes no damage. So yeah, again, that works. You get 1 Peace of Mind, and then you become a tanky. You are pretty tanky like the meatball while also nuking everything. So yeah, that's a thing. And Cosmeo Unleash, you get to take other people's abilities, and then you use them back. You can get Ace Wrestling. You can get Surrogate, and I guess Surrogate. Can you Surrogate? That's actually something I kind of want to try out. But you can take Ace, you can take Boast, you can take Awakening, you can take Rev Up, you can take Total Eclipse. So yeah, it makes sense why Cosmeo Unleashed is also up there in the great. So, yeah. I think these last 5 are kind of self-explanatory, and those are the top 5 mine types in all of the game. So, who is the worst mine type in all of Loomian Legacy? Is it Wakalakka, Halloween Kabunga, Paramine, or Babyon? And the thing that's funny is I think Babyon is better than Wakalakka. I think it's better than Wakalakka. Sounds weird, but I think it actually is, just because it does have specialization, and if you use specialization, it's basically a faster Metatoad that does slightly less damage. So I can actually see it be kind of used, at least compared to Wakalakka. So, Babyon is not one of the worst. If I were able to pick one of the worst, I think it would have to be Halloween Kabunga. As much as I love it, and it has more coverage than Paramine, it's those weaknesses. The weaknesses that it has is just insane. And I can't, come on. Halloween Kabunga is not better than Wakalakka. Come on. Like, it's like saying that Geklo is better than Eligwan. Oh, wait. I did that. Oops. Oh, it was well worth it. Geklo is better than Eligwana anyway. But, yeah. It's like saying, like, I don't know, it's like saying that Stovzap is better than Zulong, or like Babyon is better than Metatoad, or if like Paramine is better than Ferroglyph. It just doesn't make that much sense. So, unfortunately, Halloween Kabunga is the worst mine type in all of Loomian Legacy. And now let's rank the best mine types in all of Loomian Legacy. And if I were to pick my top 3, my top 3 would probably be these 3. And I have reasons. Cosmere Meatball is good, but it doesn't do enough damage. It needs a couple more bulk ups. Not bulk ups. It needs a couple more Peace of Minds in order to do that extra damage. And Metronet, even though it only has 2 weaknesses, problem is, though, it just doesn't do enough damage. It needs the Peace of Minds to do extra damage. And if you replace Flabbergast with Hypnotize, you lose that coverage move. So yeah, that's why it's not in the top three. When with Cosmere Cracked and Cosmere Unleashed is with Mutagon. Although I don't think it is any questions on who the best Mind type in all of Loomian Legacy is, though. It's Mutagon. I mean, again, you click Brawn Boost once, and then you win. That's basically what happens. Or you click Brawn Boost twice and you win. You 100% win at that rate, unless they have a Vesperatu. That's the thing. Your team is pretty much forced to run Spirit types in order to deal with Mutagon. And if there is a Loomian that needs you to be forced to use a certain Loomian against, then that means it's the best. It's that simple. Plus, Brawn Boost, Quick Punch. We all know Mutagon's shenanigans. So, that's why it's the best Mind type in all of Loomian Legacy. By the way, I know there's another Wakalakka here, but I'm not ranking Wakalakka twice. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this tier list of me showcasing all the Mind types. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see y'all all later. Bye-bye!